Welcome, everybody, to episode 49 of Sis and Big Pops Culture. I am Big Pops, Todd Turner, also known as Mosaic Fan Art.
And I am Sis, aka Hannah Jo. And together we are an adult daughter and father duo. We dive into all things geek, nerd, and fandom. Every episode is family friendly.
Right, we are taping this live in the evening. This is a primetime edition.
Primetime, ladies and gentlemen. Evening edition.
Evening edition. Hannah, tell everybody what we do here.
Yeah, so we are going to chat about a couple different things. We're going to talk about nerd news that we find interesting. We're going to talk about the stuff that we've been watching, typically on streaming services or in the movie theaters. We're going to also talk about Pop's Pull List. If you don't know what that is, don't worry about it. I'll tell you about it later, Gator. We're going to finally review Eternals. I watched it when it came out, and Dad just recently watched it on Disney Plus. And we're going to talk about a Comixology original, We Have Demons.
There you go, by Scott Snyder. So we're going to jump in, whatever the heck it is we do.
I'm diving right in. Off the I'm going deep.
For all you Stephen Curtis Chapman fans out there. So... And the next time we record, it's going to be our 50th episode.
I know. Woo!
I sent a Instagram message to comic writer who is writing the Fantastic Four and asked him to be on our thing. And guess what he said?
Said no, thank you.
He didn't even say anything. He didn't even respond.
He said zero
He doesn't know
words.
how influential we are in the Ultimate Podcast universe.
In the HBO
Max,
executives. Yeah. That's what he doesn't know.
That's right. Well, let's hop right into a little segment we like to call Nerd News. Let's listen. That's our typewriters.
The Nerd
Hannah,
News Desk.
Take it away from the Nerd News Desk in Bowling Green.
Do you know that there is going to be a Godzilla MonsterVerse series that's coming to Apple TV?
Okay, I saw that today.
I did too.
And it's live action, so it's not. So I liked Godzilla. It was so dark. We've had this discussion where I have an issue
not
with
that it
seeing.
is. Not that it is.
I don't mean dark.
The material. It is just dim.
I know. They
it's dim for you to watch.
Need to turn the lighting up a smidgen for me. So they had a anime series movie on Netflix that I loved.
I didn't know that.
It's set in the future, and they come back to Earth, and the monsters rule the Earth, and something like that. I don't remember, but I really enjoyed it. So I'm for it.
I'm gonna watch it. I very much enjoyed all of them. I enjoyed Godzilla. I enjoyed Godzilla King of Monsters. I enjoyed Godzilla versus King Kong. I enjoyed King Kong.
I enjoyed King Kong best of all. It was the best. It was the best movie of all.
King Kong was primo.
Yeah. What do you call it? Chef's kiss.
Chef's kiss. Chef's kiss.
I don't even know what the heck that means, but
like when you eat something that's so good and you're like,
oh yeah, I do that all the time.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's chef's kiss.
I'm a looker and a cooker.
LOL.
Anyway, LOL.
But yeah. So that's
everybody's making TV is where it is.
TV is where it is right now.
Because Moana.
What? I'm sorry. What?
Yep. Moana.
I'm sorry. We need to pause the podcast immediately so that I can call Trevin and let him know that
it's 2024. You're going to be alive by then. Heck, we might have the Lambda variant of the Omega Mu.
It's
from Revenge
the Delta Nu variant.
People might. Delta Nu. That's a good one. I didn't even thought of that.
Thank you.
And not only that's Disney Plus. Not only that, but Percy Jackson series on Disney Plus, and High School Musical, the series, season 3. Everybody's making TV shows. I feel out of the loop.
Have you not seen High School Musical, the series?
No, I have no desire to watch that.
Well, sorry that
I'm not going to get my head in that game. I'm not getting my head in that game.
Mark says that he even liked Matthew Broderick's Godzilla.
Oh, I did too. Yeah. With, the French actor who played the bad guy, but wasn't a bad guy, was a good guy, who's also fantastic in The Mechanic, I think, which is a great movie.
I don't know.
The Professional, not The Mechanic.
That's one of your favorite baseball movies.
No. You're thinking The Natural.
Oh,
The
sorry.
Natural is one of my favorite. The Professional is a movie that stars a very young Padme. Oh, yeah. And Mark says his name is Jean Reno. Yeah. Padme, what's her name?
Natalie Portman.
Natalie Portman is super young in that movie.
Natalie,
Great
yeah.
movie. You should watch it.
Oh,
Go.
speaking of Jean, Dad is cosplaying as Jean-Luc Picard in this exact moment in time with his little dots on his sweater.
Are you ready? Why? Are you ready for me? Are you ready
Because
for the answer?
Picard
Why?
season 2.
Did you watch the teaser
I
trailer?
didn't, but Q is in it.
No. I lost my beans.
Oh,
If
tell
that's a
me
thing.
about the
Can you lose
beans.
beans?
Tell me
So,
about
yeah,
the beans.
So Q is in it. And it is like Q comes up to him, something happens, Picard sort of like wakes up and he goes, Q says, "Welcome to the road not taken."
No.
So something is all jacked up with the timeline. And so you see Q,
Is it
7
as
of
if
9.
he
Of
had
course, 7 of
queued?
9.
Is it as if he had joined Q? Because he was offered to join Q, wasn't he?
No. He's not.
Okay, good.
So you see Q, you see Data, who you know is not Data. It's probably
Lore.
no, it's probably the guy who created Data. I
Okay.
can't remember his name.
I don't know.
You see the Borg Queen in and out of that. And Picard says, if the timeline's messed up, I know someone who might be able to help us with this. And he walks into a bar and a voice behind says, without turning around, says, I'm going to need 2 glasses of Earl Grey steaming hot. Do you know who it is?
No.
Guinan. Whoopi Goldberg is in it.
It's Guinan!
Yes.
Because
I was
she's
like-
so old. Is it Whoopi Goldberg, actually?
Yeah.
I'm
It's
not
actually
okay.
Whoopi Goldberg.
Where
Yes.
can I watch this?
A Paramount Plus. What
Am
we
I
don't
going to have to buy this stupid Paramount? Here's what I'll do. This is awful. I'm so sorry. It's not as if they don't already know people do this, so I don't feel bad about it. I will wait until all of the episodes are there, and then I will download it for a month
Oh, tell me.
for
and
my
I
free
will use your,
for my free trial. Dad and I will share. We'll just go back and forth. I'll do a free trial for a month, and then you can do a free trial for a month,
and then we'll share it. That's
and then we'll
hilarious.
share it for both months.
Well, if the Paramount Plus people would like for us to review the show,
We
they
will
could
review
give
it,
us-
and we'll give it a good review because already we're excited about it.
I'm stoked. Yeah, it looks fantastic.
Ugh, Picard.
I'm really good about. I'm psyched.
Oh, speaking
something-
of psyched,
What?
did you see the Moon Knight teaser?
Oh gosh, that's crazy pants.
That looks bonkers. I'm stoked.
How do you think they're going to
about it.
handle multiple personality? Because that's what it is. He has multiple personalities.
He has dissociative identity disorder, which is in
that
the
what it is?
DSM. Yeah.
Gotcha.
It used to be called multiple personality disorder, but they've since
Gotcha.
changed what that's called.
Well,
in
and
the
that's what they say
DSM.
the Incredible Hulk has too
Well, I mean,
in the comic book. So.
perhaps.
Of course, everybody in comic books now is going to therapy. We've already talked about this,
well,
which is
as
a good thing.
they need it.
Yeah. Which was funny because the comic book we reviewed last time about the Fantastic Four, where the guy tried to make the Fantastic Four look bad because their children were in therapy. And the things like, why wouldn't a good parent want their children to go to therapy? It backfired on him anyway.
Yeah.
Knives Out's coming out later this year.
And it's
Knives
coming
Out
to
2.
Netflix.
What?
It's doing both. I saw this that Knives Out is doing a dual release both in theaters and on Netflix.
I thought it was Prime, Amazon Prime.
What I read said Netflix. Perhaps it is Prime. It is all.
Okay.
It's dual releasing to a streaming service
I think it's Prime.
and to. Okay, I believe you.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Prime.
Did you see? Speaking of Prime, did
ahead.
you see the teaser for the Lord of the Rings
No, I haven't.
Ring of Power?
The $18 million. No, I haven't.
It is called. So it's LOTR Rings of Power.
Oh,
And the
wait a minute.
teaser, that's what it's called. It's it's
Okay.
a series about the Rings of Power.
Gotcha.
And it kind of like goes through like the little like the thing that
I thought the
Galadriel
show that they were
says.
doing on Amazon Prime was going to be
A prequel.
like the Silmarillion.
Yeah, it's a prequel to the Lord of
Okay.
the Rings. So I think it's like
Well, but before the rings were done, there was the Silmarillion.
and it was
which
like
is,
how the world was created.
right. But so you're saying they're going to do the Rings of Power?
That's what it's called. The thing is
Okay.
called LOTR Rings of Power.
No, I'm going to have to
It's
watch it.
set to release
does it
of
have-
September 2nd. And here's the thing. You watch it and you think it's this really weird CGI, but it is actual gold poured on sand. And it like going
What?
through, like you can like watch how they made the teaser trailer. You go watch the teaser trailer and
Okay,
you'll see what I
gotcha.
mean. but it's like
Okay.
it's not computer generated. It is
All right.
like practical effects, which Peter Jackson loves him a practical effect.
Yeah, I love it.
I don't know. I'm
Absolutely,
excited
anytime.
about it.
So speaking of amazing creations,
yes,
this is not one, but I wanted to say it anyway. This is a segue. It was terrible.
it was a bad segue.
Little Caesars. Have you heard of this?
They raised their prices.
No. I don't care about they.
Oh, they did. They raised their hot and ready prices.
They created a Batman pizza, which is a pizza / calzone that's supposed to be in the shape of a bat signal.
Oh, no.
It looks like somebody blew up a football and laid it out flat. It is not look, and it's supposed to be. It's called the Batman Calzone. It's supposed to be a dynamic duo. So starting now for $7.99, you can buy this Batman Calzone. It looks. I was like, what? What is that supposed to be?
That is heinous.
I mean, I don't know. Good try.
That is awful.
Do you see Guillermo del Toro is doing Pinocchio?
That's gonna be.
It's a stop action animation Pinocchio based on the book, not the Disney.
That's gonna be creepy as heck.
And Sebastian Cricket is voiced by Ewan McGregor. So we know he can sing, right? What was that movie that he sang in that you loved? Moulin Rouge. Yeah. So it is a musical. It's stop action animation, and it's going to be done. And it's going to be on Netflix. So Guillermo del Toro. I did see where they're doing a live action Aristocrats.
Abort.
And they're doing a live action redoing Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. And apparently Peter Dinklage went psycho.
About it?
Yeah, like I don't know. I didn't get to read what he said, but he was like steaming mad about what they did and calling them woke and all kinds of crazy stuff. And
live action Snow White and Aristocats?
Yeah, Aristocats.
Is it gonna be like the Cats musical?
No. Hopefully not. I'm hoping it'll be like how they did. That was
really bad.
No, hopefully not. I'm thinking it'll be more like how they did The Lion King.
That was also really bad.
It was bad because it's hard to capture.
All of them looked exactly the same.
It's hard to capture their emotions. When it's animated, you can draw the character to look, and it's animated. That's why it's animation. When you try to make it look like live animals, you can't capture the feeling, which is what I felt about in Lion King. I thought, this it has no feeling.
I would also like to put a caveat that we for sure saw that at the drive-in, which is in no way the optimal viewing experience.
It doesn't matter. It wasn't.
And you should be able to also see it at the drive-in.
Absolutely. Exactly. Right. You should be able to see any movie at the drive-in. Because you don't want to be. Go ahead.
Hi, Miss Stephanie. We're glad you are here.
We love people watching, and because we're taping this live on Facebook Live.
Yes.
And next time we tape, it's going to be our 50th. Please write down, comment, and we will, we'll talk to you.
Snow
It's
White.
An interactive podcast.
No, man, I really liked. Okay, have you noticed this? I'm sure you have. The phenomenon that a lot of two movies that are very similar come out back to back.
Yeah, I do.
Do you remember that year? These in no way are these similar.
Armageddon and Deep Impact.
Or like Olympus Has Fallen and White House
Down. Yeah. I'm like
they came out in like the same year. Okay. The year that Kristen Stewart.
Kirsten Dunst?
No, Kristen Stewart.
She the one from
Snow White and the Huntsman. No,
yeah.
Snow White and the Huntsman. Mirror came out.
Yeah, I remember.
And I really liked Mirror.
I don't remember them.
Okay,
that's how memorable they were.
That's what I think when I think about Snow White. I think of like the original, and then I'm like, oh, Mirror was a cute movie. That's it.
Well, do you have any more news, Hannah?
No.
All right, I don't either. That's it.
Right on.
And from Nerd News, we go to
what we're watching.
What you binging, or what are you watching?
Guess what? I went and saw Redeeming Love in the movie theater.
You know, your mom said it was out, and we haven't seen it. Did you enjoy it?
Okay, so I was very worried about it. So Redeeming Love is a Christian romance book that was created and written by Francine Rivers. Francine Rivers I didn't know this, was originally a romance author. And this was the book that she wrote after she became a Christian to share about her faith with her
Gotcha.
readers. I thought that
Yeah,
was
and you
really
don't
cool.
have to be a Christian to enjoy this book. Or I'm
just
assuming
very
the
good.
movie.
No, yeah. It's very good.
It is a modern retelling. Well, not modern. It is a Western retelling of the book of Hosea.
From the Bible.
Yeah, from the Bible.
Yeah.
But
it was really cool.
awesome.
So this book is special to me in my life. I think of it as my coming of age book. My mom let me read it when I was
because
in
it's
7th grade.
PG-13.
It's a PG-13 book. And mom let me read it when I was in 7th grade. And so it's always been like my favorite book. I read it. I used to read it every Valentine's Day.
Oh,
Like I would just like I read books really fast and I would just read it on the 14th, but now I read it every February because I don't have time to sit and read an entire book. Anyways, I was very worried that it was going to be very bad. Like I was
Oh, you thought it was going to be hokey,
like I thought it was going to be really cheesy. I thought they were going to cut out a lot of the like components that make it similar to the book of Hosea. I thought they were going to make it more PG than PG-13. Like this story doesn't work unless it's a PG-13 story. And it was perfect. I would change like 2 or 3 things and that's it. And the two or three things I would change are only things that I think a person who reads the book every year would care about.
So nobody else would care.
Nobody else would care.
And so honestly, anyone could watch this.
Anybody could watch it. Yeah. Yeah. It has some like famous people in it too. Like Nina Dobrev is in it, and she was in Vampire Diaries, and she was in Degrassi. And I don't know the actor's name.
Again.
I'm just saying. And I don't know this actor's actor name, but he was McSteamy in Grey's Anatomy.
Gotcha. Not McDreamy, but McSteamy.
Not McDreamy, but McSteamy.
Gotcha. Yeah, I don't know that either.
And he was the bad guy.
I refuse to watch those because they don't have a Farm D in any of those shows.
I know you don't. Hey. We've had this conversation multiple times.
I know.
Friends, if you're trying to decide whether or not you'd like to see this movie, I would encourage you to watch the trailer because there are things that are potentially triggering in the movie. So watch the trailer. If you are moderately triggered by something in the trailer, it is likely that you might be more triggered when you watch the movie. So just tread carefully, take care of yourself, do what you need to do to make sure that you are safe.
Gotcha. Yeah. I watched a bazillion things.
Oh, yes.
Go ahead. What are you going to say?
I don't, because you traveled this past weekend.
I did. I traveled this past weekend. But the thing that I binged is a 12 episode moving comic, the Watchmen comic, made to, it's like animated, but it ain't animated. They like make it look animated and it's voiced. So it's 12 episodes because there are 12 issues of the comic book, the Watchmen comic book.
Yeah.
And I don't know how I feel about it. I liked how it was done. I didn't like how it was narrated.
Okay.
The narration was a little bit offensive, I think, in some points. Oh. The way they portrayed different like people groups or ethnicities, I was like, I don't know if that's the right way to do it, but I think I would have liked it better. It was one guy who narrated, so every part, every female part, whether you were whatever color you were.
So it was like a guy, it's like anytime you listen to an audiobook.
Right. And here's the deal. My audiobook that I listened to of The Hobbit.
Oh, it's just so good.
Is straight up the best. And it's one guy who has a different voice for everyone. And it's amazing. So I know it can be done. This was not good.
Man,
but
that's a bummer.
Watching it, that's okay. Watching it animated, but not really animated. It's hard to explain. It's like they took the pictures and made them move somehow, like in and out or whatever.
Mark wants to know if it was rotoscoped.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know if it was or not. Could have been.
I don't know what that means.
It's sort of like when they take something and they move it I don't know.
Okay.
You go. I mean, it's on HBO Max. It is
Well, watch
definitely
it
in
if you
for
want to.
mature.
Fair
Watch
enough.
it if you want to. I am caught up on Peacemaker. I am caught up on, and Peacemaker gets sadder.
Oh,
I'm telling you, it's sad.
does.
And I'm caught up on Boba Fett, which you get you get how he ended up with Ming-Na Wen.
Aw, we love
that.
Ming-Na Wen. She's so cool.
I know.
She's just, her career is crazy pants.
Well, it is now. She's like does so much stuff. Who
She's
would've
like
thought?
late 50s.
Oh well, she could beat you and I up
She
in a
could
dark alley.
beat us, I think. Am I lying to you?
I don't know.
Ming-Na Wen. How old is she?
While you look that up, I want to tell you about something else I started
She's
watching.
58 years old. That woman is
gosh.
58 years old.
Awesome. Good
She's
for
cool.
her. You go.
Oh, I wanted to tell, I started watching Station 11.
Oh, how far are you into it?
Only a couple, it's hard. It is
Yeah.
a hard show.
It is hard.
So I got
And the thing about it is, I literally almost quit watching it, but I'm glad I didn't.
I'm taking a pause.
Okay.
I'm taking a pause.
It-
Her friend has decided to stay, and it was the very
Who's her
end of
friend?
her friend, the pregnant friend, has decided to stay at the place.
Oh, stay at the place.
And the creepy
and
guy-
it's got the guy, the creepy
and the creepy guy is like, "Yo," and I'm like, "Oh no." Pause, rewind, and I'm taking a pause. I just want
Every
to tell you,
single
I did
character
start it.
all these characters are intertwined, and it has a great ending.
Station 11.
So, yeah.
I mean, I'm
great
going to
ending.
watch it, but you know
Good.
me, I'll come back to it.
I know. I got you. Yeah. I started watching Macbeth on Apple TV.
Okay.
The Denzel Washington starring. It's black and white. It is produced. It's done by one of the Coen brothers, the ones who did like No Country for Old Men,
Yeah.
Raising Arizona.
Ugh, you love that movie.
I do. It is really good. However, it is straight up Macbeth. It isn't like, hey, let's use modern lingo. It ain't. It is Shakespeare, and it is you having to hit the rewind button. What they say?
Do you know what would be helpful?
I did. Don't even tell me.
I was going to say,
Use
if you don't
subtitles.
have subtitles on for that, Dad, I'm going to fight you.
I had to rewind it to do even with the subtitles on. I was like, what does that mean? He doth doeth thou doeth with what? Where does the come? I was like, I mean, it's good. I'll give you that, but it's hard.
Can I do my
Because
one
it's-
Shakespearean flex?
Go ahead, do it.
I saw Taming of the Shrew in the Globe Theater in London.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Were you able to pet that shrew afterwards?
I paid $5
Oh, that's so cool.
and
though.
stood the entire time like a
Which is
peasant.
funny because we talked about Shakespeare because of Station 11. That's what they do.
They do.
Or
They're
what do
the
they do?
traveling
Hamlet.
symphony. They're doing Hamlet, which is Shakespeare.
Hamlet. And this is Hamlet. There's a reason they're doing Hamlet. Anyway, that's it. That's it for me.
I also started watching. So I have wanted to watch this TV show called The Discovery of Witches since 2018,
gosh.
and I know that you're not like a super big fan of stuff like that. So I was debating whether or not even telling you I was watching it.
Well, you should tell me. You're a grown woman.
I know I'm a grown woman, and I'm watching it, so I'm telling you.
Gotcha.
The reason I'm telling you is that season 3 is being released as we're recording this. Like the third episode of the final season comes out on Friday.
Gotcha.
So, I don't know. I'm enjoying it. It feels more science fiction prophecy-y stuff than like you know what I mean? Which
Yeah.
I'm here for. So I'm enjoying it. And I'm
All
glad
right.
to find it. It's if you want to watch it, you have 6 days. It leaves Disney Plus. Not wrong. It leaves Amazon
was gonna
Prime.
say.
Not Disney Plus. It leaves Amazon Prime on the 31st. I was gonna say
All right.
that's wrong.
Good deal. Awesome. Yes. All right. What now, Hannah?
Your pull list, Daddy-O.
Okay. Explain what a pull list is.
Yeah, so a pull list for our dear friends who don't know, or for your friends that do. Hey, you could do this little route by heart. A pull list is a list of comics that you are collecting that the proprietor of your local comic book shop keeps on hand so that they can pull the comics that you're collecting from their inventory before placing them on the shelves. And that way you have a nice little stacky of all of the things that you want to read waiting for you on New Comic Book Day, which is Wednesday. So you can go and get your little stacky of comics and make sure that you have all of the things that you want to read.
And here's the deal. This week, I wasn't able to go to my local comic book shop. So I went and visited 2 comic book shops in Phoenix. And the one I really liked was called Greg's Comics. That was my favorite.
Greg.
Go check it out if you're ever in the Phoenix area. I really liked it. It was, they had a lot of stuff and they were nice. But anyway, what I did is I have chosen 6 books plus a book of the week.
A book of the week. It's the book of the week.
From my pools.
Yeah.
These are books that I have
you never read before? So you just picked them. So what he does is typically Dad picks 2 Marvel, 2 DC, and 2 independent.
And that's what I did.
And he gives us a book of the week that can be any of those. And
they're usually from things I'm collecting, but these are books that I'm not collecting.
These are books that you have. So have you read all of them?
I did.
Did you like most of them?
I did. Yeah, absolutely.
Did you like all of them?
I liked all but one.
Okay, fair.
And I'll explain why.
Okay, I'm ready. Bring it on.
So my first book is, I have read some of this, and I'm going to start getting it because there's going to be a crossover with Nightwing, which I do collect. This is Superman, son of...
Yeah, I was going to say it's DC then, because you said
Nightwing, DC,
I knew
Superman, son of Kal-El, issue 7. And this is Superman's son. He is in a relationship with a guy who is like a superhero, sort of, but he runs this thing called The Truth. And
that sounds weird.
It's good. They're good.
Okay, I was going to say, that sounds like
this issue really hits on climate change. There is a country called Gamora, and we believe that the guy who is running The Truth, his mom was captured by the president.
Oh.
And we believe she's been, or I think she's dead, but she could have been captured. And what happens is a huge sea creature comes up and starts heading towards Metropolis.
Not good. The opposite of good.
But the sea creature's not bad. The sea creature is leaving its place because there's no oxygen. It's been where it's living in the ocean is all janky. So Superman is like, well, gets Aqualad, the Aquaboy or Aquaman, the new Aquaman.
Aqualad.
And we're just get this creature to go back. But the president of Gamora, I think is the name of the country. I could be wrong. He has his own little superheroes that he wants to introduce to the world. He's going to use this as a means to bring them up.
Oh no!
So he teleports them there, and they fight the monster, and one of them dies.
Ooh!
And the president lets him die because it's sort of like they're like being controlled by other people. It's hard to explain, but Lex Luthor's bad. He's in it.
I don't.
This whole entire story starts out with the guy saying there's some things even Superman can't fix or can't keep from happening. And so anyway, it's a good book. It's a lot about climate change. I may continue to get it. Who knows? We'll see.
Okay, fair enough.
My next book is an issue 1 from Image called
we
Bolero.
love Image.
Bolero.
I say again.
Bolero.
Bolero. Is that like a fighty?
I don't know. I don't know what it is. I love the premise of this book.
Okay.
The premise of this book is that you have 53 chances to go to an alternate universe you.
Oh.
However, when you go to one, you can never go back.
Oh no.
So like maybe I would decide right now that I want to go to another, but then everything that happened before, like my children may not be born or these options, or I may be a woman or a blah, blah, blah.
Well, do
which
you know
I
what your
l-
life in the other place is like?
no, not till you go there.
Oh, I hate that.
Right. So, like, what in your life makes it to where you decide you want to leave it to go to one that you have no clue what it is?
It could be awful.
The book premise is fantastic. There is so much adulty stuff in this book that I'm like, this, I ain't getting this. It was too much. I mean,
Yeah.
too much.
Yeah,
So,
man, that sucks.
yeah. But the premise is great. I mean, it sounds like a great premise. My first Marvel book is Silver Surfer Rebirth issue 1.
A lot of
This is fun.
like
Yeah, a
issue
lot of these are
ones.
issue 1s. Yeah. So this is interesting because back when I was first started collecting comic books, Marvel put out their first ever graphic novel, and it was called The Death of Captain Marvel.
Oh.
Captain Marvel at that time died of cancer. It's a great book, and the cover has all these superheroes around his bed,
Excuse me.
or whatever. So this takes place, it says, in the past, and a Kree ship is being sucked into a black hole, and Captain Marvel's son, who is Legacy, is there trying to save it. He can't save it. Silver Surfer shows up. Silver Surfer helps save it.
Okay.
And he has a little conversation with Legacy, and he goes, I'm trying to live up to my father's legacy, which I guess why he's called. Something happens, and Legacy's gone, and Captain Marvel is there.
What happened?
And I don't know. And the Silver Surfer's like, what's going on? And next thing you know, they're in the middle of a Skrull battle.
Oh no, they teleported back in time.
I don't know. And no, because Captain Marvel said, come on, what are you doing? We got to fight. I didn't beat cancer to die against Skrulls.
What?
You're like, what? And the next thing you know, something happens and he's zapped and he's dying. He's killed, and Thanos is there. That's the end. So it's like,
what is happening?
I know, it's so confusing. But it's by Ron Mars and Ron Lim, who did the Silver Surfer book in the 90s, which was so good. I may keep getting it. My first DC book.
No, second
DC book is Wonder Woman 783. So this is right in the middle. The reason I picked it up is because the guy who does the art for Adventure Man did the cover for this.
Oh, I want to see.
Terry Dodson.
Can you hold it up?
So
what is it like?
It's just really pretty.
We love.
So Terry Dodson is the guy who did that.
I love Adventure
It's a really
Man.
cool book. Wonder Woman's been presumed dead because of the end of death metal back over for the last year or so.
Yes.
She sacrificed herself, but she really wasn't dead. She was in this place with all these different gods from different. And so she gets to meet Steve Trevor again.
Oh, that's nice.
And something's going on. There's like a mirror. Hundreds of Wonder Woman are attacking the city, but they're like mirror images. So they're literally made out of mirror.
That's pretty sick.
Interesting. And the thought was like, it's called Through the Looking Glass. And this was like I can't remember this is like part 3. So this is part 3 of an ongoing story inside the story, but I felt okay hopping into it.
Yeah.
She has a character called Dead Man in it, who's a really interesting character who's he can enter other people and take over their bodies. He's like
I
dead.
hate that.
Oh, his name was Boston Brand. He was like a acrobat guy or whatever. I don't know. But it's interesting because one of the things was when you stare into the looking glass, do you ever wonder who's looking back? Can you start to see the cracks? Which one is real? So, and then there's a character called the Shining Knight who comes to beat up Wonder Woman, but then there's all these mirror Wonder Woman. So he helps her beat up them. But it's fun. I really enjoyed it, and I may pick it up too. I don't know.
Makes me think of. This is silly. Are you ready?
Go ahead.
Do you remember that there was an Elmo Through the Looking Glass Alice in Wonderland CD that I had to play on the family computer?
I do not remember that at all. Okay.
Never mind.
All right. Gotcha. That sounds funny.
It was. I was a wee tot.
Gotcha. My first,
Second.
this was a struggle. No, it's going to be my first second Marvel book.
Second.
And I don't know which one to pick.
Have you decided your book of the week yet?
I haven't. It's between two Marvel books. So
Okay,
we're going to go.
Meeny, miny, moe it.
Okay, eeny, meeny, miny, mo. So my second Marvel book is X Lives of Wolverine, issue 1. So do you remember how, I don't know if you know this, but I don't know if we were doing the podcast back when House of X and Powers of X came out that I really love.
Yeah.
So this is the X Lives of Wolverine and the X Deaths of Wolverine.
Are EX or just the letter X?
The letter X, because it's X-Men. I've not been collecting X-Men books because they've been just all over the place.
And there's so many of them.
But this is really cool. Wolverine, do you remember in the movie Days of Future Past, sort of where Wolverine puts on that little thing and they touch his head and he goes back into himself?
Yeah.
In the movie.
Yeah.
And he wakes up and he doesn't have metal on his bones.
Yeah.
He just has the bones. Okay. So this is sort of, something has happened in mutantdom now. The X-Men have the ability to revive dead mutants.
Oh,
so the
I
mutant
hate it.
Guys, they can bring them back. Okay, so, and they have this island where all mutants are welcome, whether you were bad or good. All mutants are welcome. Where there's a bad mutant called Omega Red, and he's
not invited.
He requested asylum, but what they did was they changed his resurrection protocol so that they could track him wherever he is. And he finds out that they have changed his protocol. So he has the ability somehow to go back into the past. And his plan is to kill Professor Xavier before he's born or when he's born. That's the deal. So they send Wolverine back to keep this from happening. This book's going to be really interesting. But the whole entire thing is like, if we have this ability to do this, then what are we doing? Yeah, they're like playing God.
Nope.
So.
Hard pass. Hard pass.
Thank you. Stacy Cockrell is watching, and she says she has no idea of what we're talking about, but she loves our passion. And we are passionate about nerdy things.
Right on.
Thank you, Stacy. Yes.
Right on.
My last independent is also an Image book.
Oh, we love Image in this house.
It's an issue 1 as well. It's called Aerosmith Behind Enemy Lines. And this was really cool. Apparently, this world of Aerosmith, not the rock band, it's spelled Arrow and Smith.
Oh, ARROW?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. I definitely spelled it like the rock band.
Gotcha. This universe or place
are they all blacksmiths?
Is not new. So this is a continuation of a story that had been started a long time ago.
Okay, fair.
So in this world, it is like World War I, and we're at war with the Germans.
Man.
Like Snoopy and the Red Baron type stuff. But fairies, dragons, trolls all exist as well.
Oh, yeah.
So they use magic, like instead of like biplanes.
Like science?
They use they have a little dragon, and then they do like a magic spell, and they can fly.
Science magic.
And so it's sort of, and there's like a troll who's like Onward. Sort of like that, but it's real people like us and the magic realm or whatever.
And beings.
And this is like a World War I battle behind enemy lines. It's behind enemy lines. And about that. So it was really interesting.
That's
I
cool.
really enjoyed it. I was like, oh gosh, if this is brand new, I want to start collecting this from the beginning. Then I found out, no, it ain't brand new.
I have a question.
Go.
If you got to meet a mythical being or creature, only one, what being or creature would it be?
Okay, well, we'll have to tackle that. That's not something I can answer right now.
I asked that question to Trevin last night, and he was like, what? I'm like, don't worry about it. But what?
We'll come back to it.
Okay, I'm just saying. I think I'd want to meet like a fawn or a centaur.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. I don't know. That sounds weird. The Kraken. I'm just kidding.
No.
Release the Kraken. Oh, another thing I watched on TV. I didn't get to tell you. It's all about the Kraken. So on HBO Max, animated Injustice, which is where it's a movie where the Joker, he's tired of playing around with Batman, so he goes to Metropolis and he steals like some kryptonite gas. No, he steals kryptonite and he steals Joker, the Scarecrow fear toxin, and he does something to Lois Lane.
Nope.
And Superman sees her and thinks she's Doomsday and takes her up. Yes. And so he accidentally kills Lois Lane, accidentally dies.
Nope.
And then Superman snaps.
Yep.
And he basically becomes, and it pits people against each other.
Not good.
The
Not
movie was
good.
great. Fantastic movie. And it's immature.
Okay.
But anyway, so my book of the week.
It's Marvel.
Yes, and it's also a number one.
Lots of issue ones.
She-Hulk, issue 1. And it is so good.
You're enjoying
Here's the deal.
She-Hulk.
Here's the deal. The writer's name, her name is Rainbow.
Oh, that's so cool.
Rainbow Rowell.
Oh, Dad, no, that's
what?
an author.
Like who?
Like, I've read her books.
What does she write?
She writes teen fiction.
Are you for serious?
I'm 100% serious. She wrote Fangirl.
Wow. This book is great. I was really impressed.
She's a phenomenal. She writes a lot of like teen fiction. She wrote
No idea.
She wrote Eleanor and Park. She wrote Fangirl. A lot of her books came out right when I was finishing high school. So
Gotcha.
I haven't read like
so-
a lot of her books. Oh, Landline was good.
Okay. Well, there you
Her
go,
books
guys.
are good.
Well, this is a good jumping on point. She-Hulk issue 1. So She-Hulk is now. It was so funny. It opens up and she's on her way to her job, and she's just got a job. And Titania, which is a huge woman who always is fighting She-Hulk, is like. And matter of fact, I've talked about her because she was in Gamma Flight. She's married to the Absorbing Man. Remember I talked about how I love their dynamics, how they were married? They were both villains, but not really villains. So Titania is like, come on, we're going to fight. And She-Hulk's like, well, hold on. Let me take off my pants. She goes, what? She goes, this is the only suit I have. I'm not ripping this suit, because she's as herself. She's not hulked out yet. She takes her jacket off, hangs it on something, takes her skirt off. She goes, what? You're going to fight me in your underwear? And she goes, I fought you in less. You know, she had like bikini briefs, you know. And,
So she apparently is doing a lot of graphic novels.
Okay.
She has written The Runaways for a little bit.
Yeah, that's big. That's big. Mm-hmm.
And she is doing Pumpkinheads, which is a graphic novel.
Oh.
And she has my very unofficial guide to She-Hulk, an incomplete and unofficial guide to help you prep for my new She-Hulk comic book series.
That's
And
funny.
so you can go and check out, like, it's who is She-Hulk, because it's for people
Jennifer
who are like
Walters,
fans of hers.
Well, and they're doing this because Marvel's making a TV show.
I mean,
Yeah, that's the deal. And you can go online and you can see the actress who's playing She-Hulk. The comic book is really good. So she's trying to get to work, and Titania wants to fight, and they're fighting, and Jennifer Walters is like, She-Hulk's like, can we just stop? She goes, I got to go to work. And she's like, no, we can't stop until one of us is unconscious. And She-Hulk is like, what if we didn't? She goes, what do you mean? Like, what if we just fought and then just didn't? I don't want to have to knock you unconscious. And she goes, well, I've knocked you unconscious before. And she goes, yeah, but she goes, like, change the rules? She goes, yeah, what if I didn't send you into the police? And she's like, I feel like you're like using your Jennifer Walters voice on me and everything. And
that's so fun.
So basically Jennifer Walters is like, I tell you what, I like fighting with you too, because there's not very many people women that I can take a telephone pole and hit them with and not have to worry about them going to the
Dead.
hospital. Why don't we just plan on meeting up and letting off some steam every once in a while? And Titania's like,
Right on.
are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay? She goes, I have to get to this job. She goes, do you need some money? I could loan you some money. And
I could loan you some money.
and I could loan you some money. And she's like, no, that's okay. I'm okay. So anyway, it's really interesting. It ends with her staying at the Wasp's apartment in New York. And then she is there taking a bath, and there's a crash into the apartment. And she goes out, and there's a character called the Jack of Hearts, which, if you're a comic book collector, the Jack of Hearts is supposedly dead. This happened a long time ago, right before I stopped collecting comic books. It was called Avengers Disassembled. It was how someone got and killed off the Avengers, and the Jack of Hearts blew up, and that like killed Ant-Man, killed the Vision, and so this character now is back, and we're like, what? So if you have Amazon Prime, you can go read this miniseries, Avengers Disassembled, and it'll talk a little bit about that. So yeah, She-Hulk.
It's so cool that Rainbow Royale is doing that.
It's cool. Yeah. That's it. That's all I got.
Man. Fangirl
Right.
was one of my
picking a
favorite
lot of
books
time.
there for a while. We've been talking for a minute.
Let's talk the Eternals movie.
Okay. So something that when I first watched, I didn't think it was bad.
So the Eternals movie is a Marvel movie. If those of you don't know, we are going to talk spoilers because it's been out since November, and it's been on Amazon Prime for about a month,
Wrong.
which is
Disney
when
Plus.
I watched it. Disney Plus. Gosh, sorry.
It's okay.
Yeah.
There's so many at this
So
point.
the
doesn't
Eternals is we if you go back on our podcast, we talked about the comic book. We read the OG comic book created by Jack Kirby.
And I told you that there were parts of it that are directly related to
There's a lot of it.
the movie, and there are a lot of parts that are directly related to the movie. After like reading it after watching the movie, I was like, oh, this person, that person, that person, this person.
So
The thing that
we're going to talk about the Eternals as if you know who the Eternals are.
yeah.
Okay.
So if you're going into watching this movie thinking it's going to be an Avengers movie, you are going to be extremely disappointed.
Right.
Because it is not an Avengers movie.
No, it is not.
The way that I heard this explained is that this is a superhero family drama.
Okay, I can see that.
And that's
The Eternals
that
do not
exactly
age.
is what it felt like. It was
got that.
it was a family drama. Like it was these people, they need some family therapy.
I thought this
general.
would have been better as a TV show, a Marvel
Yeah,
show.
a miniseries.
Yeah. The problem is you've got so many stars in it. That's
It
a lot
couldn't
of
have
money.
been.
But maybe it could have. I guess they only had like one or two really big stars. If you think of
Richard,
Angelina Jolie and Salma
Hayek, and that Richard guy.
I don't know who that. Yeah.
The-
you don't even
the
know his
pretty
last
one.
name. Madden or Martin or whatever.
Yeah.
I didn't recognize him from anything.
The main guy.
Yeah, I still didn't recognize him from anything.
Oh, he was in, are you kidding? He's been in so many things. He was in,
I don't watch him.
he was Kit. He was Prince Charming in the remake of Cinderella. In the live action remake of Cinderella. He was in Game of Thrones.
Oh, see, I don't watch Game of Thrones, so maybe that's it. So, yeah, so you liked it?
I enjoyed it.
Okay.
I enjoyed it. It felt.
It was long.
What I would have preferred.
Full disclosure, I fell asleep.
Yeah, I would have preferred like just the origin story. Just because I thought
was a
that
lot.
was so cool.
I really liked Druig. I liked his character, the one who was fed up with humanity. They're never going to change.
With the
I liked
who does
Makari.
mind reading,
Yeah, I liked
the
Makari.
mind controlling. Which one's Makari?
The fast one, Mercury. She's supposed to be Mercury.
I love, and she's deaf.
Yes, she uses sign language.
uses sign language, so that was
Yeah.
pretty.
So
sick
this was a
too.
cool thing that you have a lot of people groups represented in this. Honestly,
Yeah,
all walks of life, and they did a great job of that. the characters that I didn't really care for were Salma Hayek's character and Angelina Jolie. I didn't think
Angelina Jolie's character just made me really sad because she had like Alzheimer's.
Really? You think that's what she had?
It was like that. It was
Gotcha.
like she forgot. It wasn't like Alzheimer's, but the way that it was kind of explained in the movie was she couldn't tell reality, like present moment, from past because she had been alive for so long. Her brain wasn't working.
I got you.
And
that is a
so
lot of like that.
It to me it felt very much like Alzheimer's.
Oh yeah, I could see that now.
And for me, it just felt really sad that she had this lovely, like, this lovely guy who just cared for her so much and just like really wanted to like provide a safe space for her. And then she ended up, I think she killed him or he died trying to protect her or something like that. I don't remember exactly. And I don't know. I thought her character was really cool because she had to like overcome this like difficulty because like the whole thing was she wasn't correctly erased. And so she was remembering the life that she lived before this giant life that she has lived. So she has two eternities in her head.
I love the Celestials. Those looked bad.
That was petrifying.
Those
great.
Things
are creepy as heck. The like giant hand coming up out of the water.
And let me tell you what, I liked Circe a whole lot better than I liked her in the comic book. She's like, let's dance around in the comic book. And I was like, no, gosh. But she was really good.
She was really good in this.
And I kept thinking, watching this movie, I'm like, all right, how are they going to handle Sprite? Because Sprite's the same age all the time. And if they want her to be around for 17 more years to make more Eternal movies, they handled it perfectly.
It was perfect.
You know what they did?
They made her a girl. They made her a person.
So that she could age.
Yeah.
I was like, that's pretty smart. Yeah. They let her age. So.
Man, that made me so sad though. The whole like Sprite being in love with
and not being able to.
And not being able to. Oh man.
Because she's so young.
Because she's a child. Oh man.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And like talking about like, why was I made like this?
And in the comic book, they sort of make Sprite androgynous almost.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Sprite was very androgynous in the movie as well.
Yeah. So which was again another people group well represented.
Yeah.
So I liked Fastos,
which was
the guy that had the son and the husband.
Oh yes, the guy who makes stuff.
He didn't die, did he?
He didn't die.
Okay.
Well, at the very end, they're taken into space because the Celestial comes back. Did you watch this?
Yes,
did you not see this?
I did watch it. I watched it, and I watched the end.
Oh yeah, the Kit Harington.
Okay, so there are two spoilers at the end of this movie, right?
Yes.
So one is the swordsman. He's a character called the Sword. No, is he called
Rider, the Black Knight or the Black Knight or
the Black Knight? Yes, which is really a pretty cool character with the sword. And then there's another one where Harry Styles,
is Eros.
Star Fox is the character who in the comic book was the brother of Thanos.
Yeah, Eros.
And so I was like, that's just so weird. The
I loved
worst
it.
part of that, that was okay. I thought it was funny.
Pip the Troll! Pip the Troll!
Okay. Which is Patton Oswalt. Had to be his voice.
I loved it. I literally yelled in the theater, Pip the Troll!
Yes, I love Pip the Troll, but the CGI was terrible.
The CGI was so bad.
I was like, oh my gosh, this is Marvel. This looks so bad.
I think they didn't have a lot of money to spend on that spoiler. I think they just kind of threw it in.
The funny thing is, in the comic book, after they rob Thanos, they get the stones. They separate all the Infinity Stones. We think he eats one. We're not exactly sure where he puts it, but he does have one of the Infinity Stones. Pip the Troll.
Pip the Troll. I don't know. People really hated on this movie.
I like Dane Whitman, the character Dane Whitman, Circe's boyfriend. I liked him in it. Really good. That character.
Yeah.
I just felt like this movie took forever. I didn't like the deviants. I didn't like that.
It felt like a weird, like the deviant that like mutated.
Do you know what his name was?
No.
Crow. If
Oh,
you look, which is the
yeah.
head deviant.
Man, I thought that was a weird storyline. I'm like, why is this added on in here? Is it to make us like, is it like to amp the stakes up or
I think
something?
so. I think it was to make it, oh wow, the more he killed, the more people he wipes out, he steals their powers. Makes him stronger. But I was like, really? You
I
know?
don't know. I thought that was kind of lame.
So did you like the movie?
I enjoyed it. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was okay.
I appreciate that they're doing different types of movies other than like straight Avengers movies.
Yeah,
Like,
I
you know
agree
what I
with that.
mean? Like the last kind of like that follows that same type of formula was to me Black Widow. And in some ways Spider-Man, very much like Spider-Man No Way Home. Spider-Man No Way Home very much still was act 1, act 2, act 3 type of
This movie sort of felt like, I don't know.
I appreciated Shang-Chi and the Ten Rings because that felt very different.
I liked that movie because it was really
felt
different.
very different. And so I'm glad that they're trying out different genres and like seeing what works. I don't think this movie did as well as Marvel was anticipating that it would do. And I think
400 million
I mean, that's a lot of money.
in the middle of a pandemic.
Like, I mean,
Okay.
I didn't think it was bad. I didn't
It's
think
just
it was great.
Right.
But I'm glad that it was different. Like I
Yeah,
appreciate
I am
that it was
too.
different.
I'll probably put it on in the background and rewatch it, but I'm not going to. I'll stop. It won't be something I'll watch straight through. Sit down.
But
and watch
yeah,
straight
so
through.
like if Captain America the First Avenger comes on TV,
I'll
we'll
watch it.
all sit
I'll
there
watch
and watch it. Like if this comes on TV while we're flipping, we'll be like, "Oh, the Eternals is on." Yeah, and then just keep
What
going.
else? Yeah.
Like,
All right. Gotcha.
So it wasn't bad. Maybe like 3.5 because I would
Stars.
tell my friends to go watch it.
Oh, absolutely.
I wouldn't
I agree with you.
like, like I'd be like,
Mm-hmm.
oh yeah, that's a good use of 2 hours. Like it's not, you're not gonna
3
be like,
hours.
3 hours is two. It
It's
was
like two. It was the second longest Marvel movie.
like 2.5 hours.
It was like 2 hours and 40
Dang.
something minutes.
I think the other thing that made this movie weird was that
Mm-hmm.
when I saw this, it was a movie day with Trev, and so we
Gotcha.
watched we watched the Carnage
Oh
movie.
gosh, that was a button-umathon, man. You watched. That's a
And
lot of movies to
then
watch.
went to Barnes and Noble.
Okay,
got,
good. Because
like-
you had to go to the next thing.
No, we took
I'd
an
need a back
hour and
support.
a half, 2-hour break, and then
Gotcha.
went and watched Eternals. And
Gotcha.
those two movies juxtaposed against each other
Yeah,
are
it's
just
completely different.
really weird.
Gotcha.
Like really weird.
Yes, Trevin, that's you.
Hi, Trev. And so like it was, I don't know. I enjoyed it. I'll
Gotcha.
watch it. If one of my friends is like, hey, I want to watch this movie, will you watch it with me? I'm not going to say no.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what happens.
And yeah, I think they
Yeah.
set up some cool stuff to go down.
Well, Hannah and I also have finished reading. There is a 3-issue comic book series on Amazon Prime. If you have Amazon Prime, you can read it for free. Or if you have Comixology, it is by Scott Snyder. It's called We Have Demons.
We
And it's-
read the first issue, but we
We did read
hadn't
the
read
first
all
issue.
of them.
But now the story,
The first run is done.
first story arc is
Yeah.
over. The premise of We Have Demons is there is so much of Halo and what's the other thing called? Horn that lands on Earth. Basically, Horn is demons. And Halo is like angel material that allows you to make swords to kill the demons.
Didn't realize this from the first reading through. You have to have faith for the Halo to
the
work.
Halo to work.
Didn't realize
What
that.
kind of faith? So, and actually, the beginning of this starts out that this is a story about faith. Matter of fact, hold on. This story is not for children.
Oh,
Not at all.
don't let your
There
kids
is
download
some
this.
art that is like
Don't.
body dysmorphia, creepy looking.
And the language.
is bad.
Language.
This book starts out with, okay, we're going to have a trigger warning. And you're like, oh gosh, what are they going to trigger warning? And the trigger warning is, this is a book about faith. And I was like, what?
Aw.
And I'm like, and the author or the person speaking goes on to say that, I can handle bad things, vulgarity. I can handle this, but faith makes me squeamish. because faith is personal, and faith is he goes on to say why faith is so scary to some people. And here's the deal: if you guys, there's a friend of mine named Hector who does Faith and Fandom. He has a 90-second devotion all about issue 1 of We Have Demons.
90 second?
It's 90 seconds because he does it for a internet radio show.
Cool.
Love Thy Nerd has a radio station, and he does 90 seconds little devotion on the radio station. And anyway,
the art in this.
The art is fantastic. It's by Greg
Sick.
Capullo. And Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo worked together on Batman, or some early Batman, which I believe you can read some of that on Amazon Prime for free too. So
the demons in this
are
crazy.
They're crazy,
They are
outrageous,
wicked,
evil looking, like I said, body dysmorphia. And they aren't nice. They don't say nice things.
The funniest thing in the entire world is that Gus is a demon who is also a glory. So Gus is also known as
he's a demon.
Yeah.
But his tribe was there.
He got infected by Horn.
He got infected by Horn, but Halo keeps him.
But he doesn't actually need it.
I know, because he takes off his little halo.
He takes off.
He actually has a
halo. He has a little bit of halo from the girl's dad in like a headband.
Right. And that keeps him from turning into a demon, but he didn't need it.
He didn't need it because he's strong enough, because he has halo and faith in him.
And so this book is all about this group of people who try to fight these demons. They're running. There's only finite amount of halo.
And they're trying to find an asteroid that has more halo that her dad says is going to come hit the Earth.
Right. And you come to find out that her dad's new wife was, should I spoil this?
Spoil it. Do it.
I just did.
Do it.
I'm sorry.
Do it.
I'm not going to spoil it. I really do think that this, if you're an adult, this is a must-read book.
And the thing that I so loved, like it kind of like made me teary. I'm not going to lie about it.
It is.
I'm a person who cries.
I am too. I'm a crier. I'm a weeper.
I'm a weeper. Festival Holiday, if you didn't know that. So I'm a person who cries.
That's 2 podcasts in a row where we reference the holiday. We should
the holiday is awesome.
That's our New Year's resolution, to reference the holiday in every podcast.
Man, and so it was. Can you hear them?
I just heard something.
Those are my next door neighbors. I can hear everything that they're saying. I so loved it, and it made me made me get like teary-eyed. It talked about it's harder than ever to find your better angels, but we're asking you to, because yes, this is a story about the fall of man, but this is also a story about the rise of man.
Yes.
And I was like, oh, it is.
And the good thing is that they leave this knowing full well that there could be more books.
It's very open-ended.
Yeah.
It's very open-ended.
I hope that this is printed.
I would buy the trade.
I would too.
I'd buy the trade.
Yes. I hope they do individual issues, because you know me, I like floppies.
You like floppies.
But yeah.
You like floppies.
So anyway, guys, We Have Demons. It's a really good story, but it
would recommend to a friend.
Only adult. Mm-hmm. Only adult.
Would recommend to a grown-up friend.
Hannah.
Yes.
End roll.
Sweet friends, thanks for hanging out this past hour with us. We're glad to have you here. Hey, our intro music was created by Brockwell Nason. I realized that perhaps you don't know.
He has a new single.
That he sings songs. Because our intro music is just orchestral, but he actually writes and sings songs.
Yeah. So orchestral? I don't think it was an orchestra. I think it was a synthesizer. I mean, like an electric piano.
What's the right word there then, Dad?
It was just instrumental.
Just score, perhaps?
Right. Score! Instruments. I don't know.
Touchdown!
Is it piano?
McGillicuddy. Yeah, so check him out on Apple Music, on Spotify, Brockwell Nason. Our art was created by my brother, Nate Turner. Hey, he did that in Microsoft Paint. What a talented individual. Thanks for doing that for us, bud. Our YouTube is maintained by Dear Papa. Thanks for
which I
that,
haven't
Big
done in a
Pops.
while.
Uh-oh.
I need to get busy.
Uh-oh. And our podcast is edited and put up by yours truly, Sis.
Yeah,
Hey.
guys. And next time we record, it's going to be 50. So
50.
we'd love to have a lot of people on
50.
here. We want to have people talking and commenting so that we can,
Right
Anywho,
on.
check us out on our Facebook.
Yeah. Thanks, friends. We're thankful for
Yeah.
you.
Until the 50th episode, we will
Catch you on the
flippity flop.
Catch you on the flippity flop. Bye, sweet friends.